Welcome to BCB Live. Yes, we are that safest station in the nation. We are. Hey, welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive Safe Dave, representing that STOP sign. Just stop, Drive Safe Dave. Collaborate and listen. Dave is back with the brand new edition.
That's correct. And that means stop completely before you proceed. Come to a complete stop before you proceed.
You know what? In honor of the great Vanilla Ice, I think it's time, Drive Safe Dave. It is time for a little rap fest. Using the stop sign. You're the stop guy, Drive Safe Dave. I need you to be Vanilla Ice and put it out there, boy.
Put it out
Bust
there.
a beat.
We go, okay, we got to stop and we got to go and not I don't know, man. I'm not doing this. I'm not the rapper.
You can just go along the same tune as Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice Baby.
All right, stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Drive Safe's back, and he's going to show you something. Anyway, all right, we're out. No more ad-libbing here for us, Drive Safe. Hey, but top of the morning to you. Good to see you, sir. Cat, what is this behind me? Oh.
Put
you know what?
There.
I'm seeing the host sign right now, Drive Safe. So there's probably something that goes with this because, you have the host chair, which is more quality, actual Italian leather. Then you have the co-host chair, just kind of colored,
imitation leather,
imitation, yeah, something like that.
Vinyl.
And I think the producer, when she's in here, those are decisions she has to do. Do you have? I think we have film coverage of how she does this. Drive Safe, Dave, producer. Oh, there you go. Yeah. See, Dave, these are things that they have to think about out there in the day. That is Kayla looking at it, making sure that she has. There it is. The genuine leather for the host, and then that imitation leather for the co-host. Hey, I appreciate that, Kayla. I thank you for the work you do to that. It's that eye for detail that says, you know what?
It's all
I'm going to make sure that host has it because
I don't know. What's it like to step on the little people on your way up the ladder, Rick? What's it like to just
on the way up the ladder? It's been many years. I can't tell you.
Take all that, steal from the real talent to just go ahead and get yourself up there.
I don't know. I'm like you call me Robin Hood. I feel like you're calling me Robin Hood.
Yeah. Okay. I guess stealing's okay if you give to the poor, right? I guess it's stealing, even though it's one of our commandments.
Goodness sakes. Hey, Drive Safe. So I want to do a little true or false with you.
All right, here we go.
Can we do that?
Yeah, come on.
All right. True or false? And then I may ask you a couple of questions. All you can say is true or false, and then I may ask you to ad-lib a little bit on it. True or false, the day you walked into BCB Transport, you knew that you were destined to succeed.
False.
All right. So, question one, Dave. What made you think that this may be a shady place or you may not be successful here? What was about that company, BCB Transport, that gave you that vibe?
Well, first of all, there weren't any trucks anywhere in the trucking company. There wasn't a single tractor or trailer anywhere around. Number two, there was no lights on. None whatsoever.
It's like an APU, baby. You know what? We had the APU on. The lights were out. We're not leaving that truck running.
I wasn't even sure anyone was there until I opened the door and that paper that had BCB trade. It had one piece of Scotch tape.
Kind of like
it was like when I opened it up and you know how it flaps in the wind. It had that. And I was like, and I opened the door and I go, "Is anybody here?" And somebody went, "Yeah, we're here." Jumped right up.
Oh, you woke us up.
Are you a driver? Are you kidding? You got a pulse? You got a pulse? And I was like, yeah, I got a pulse. But no, it was a crazy time.
It was. And Dave, let's just say you driver number 4.
3, I think.
3, yes, right behind the great Howard Sanderson.
He was.
Many of you know the legend of Mr. Howard Sanderson. I just wanted to get your feelings on that. Drive Safe, Dave. These little true and false. What did you? All right, true or false. So I'm gonna go with this one right here. You knew that you were gonna make money, assuming you got paid at BCB Transport.
That was the one thing I said before I turned around after the dispatch. I said, "You guys better pay me." I turned around and pointed at both of them. And said,
that was some old school recruiting that got you, right? Because you saw that because of why?
There was a business card on my windshield.
Business card on the windshield.
And it was right around the corner. And I had just quit a company like the day before that I had been with a long time. And I just
quit. We'll use that loosely.
Oh, no, I quit.
We did. Had we had done our previous employer backgrounds back then, checks, we probably would have got a different story on that. I'm just saying on that. Hey, Drive Safe Dave, let's go to a commercial real quick, but we're going to come back because once again, we have higher prices of fuel hitting, right?
We do have higher prices, almost 10 cents. So, yeah, we got prices.
It just continues to go up. You know, we actually saw a couple days last week or this week even when it was kind of going down. Big spike again yesterday. We continue to see that. Drive Safe Dave, we did see a 14% reduction according to the DOT and fatalities on the highway.
I did. We talked about that a little bit yesterday about how important it is and about how important that number is to continue that trend to make sure that we do something. And I think I attributed some of that to all the way back from 2013 to now. I would like to think that some of that is based upon the technologies that are being placed inside some of these vehicles. And the more we phase out some of those older vehicles that don't have that safety aspect.
Yeah, and we'll bypass the commercial for a second, Kayla. Sorry about that. But Dave, you bring up a great point because it's not that the independent contractor is a worse driver than, say, a company driver at any size of fleet, right?
No,
it's not.
at
As a
all.
matter of fact, many times that they have more experience.
Absolutely.
They're probably a safer driver in many cases.
Absolutely.
But Dave, the big difference to your point is the company truck, they have cheaters, right?
Well, they have
technology.
You've been given an advantage. You have the collision avoidance systems. You have the lane departure systems. You have the blind side recognition systems. You have all of these systems in there designed to help implement a little bit more complex idea of safety. And the more you use those systems, you're better off and better apt not to be involved in a collision. Yeah,
for certain on that. I know we're going to talk fuel again, Dave, but I will say this, kind of a spoiler alert for tomorrow. You know, the tenders they're kind of just hanging out. They're not going crazy right now.
No.
I'll tell you what to me in our industry right now that is that's absolutely amazing are the tech companies, the large tech companies. Now 2 of them back-to-back days that have gone out of business.
You talking like Convoy?
Like Convoy, yes, Convoy. And then there was another company yesterday kind of did the same thing. Convoy valued, Dave, 6 months ago, $2.6 billion.
Wow. And then got completely gone. I mean, had to close the door, shutter the door. They couldn't even sell. They couldn't even sell what they had. They had to just shutter the doors.
Yeah,
completely.
I think they were looking for a buyer, somebody that had that wanted that technology. But Dave, a lot of these companies, we've seen this, and I think that's what really interests me in this next, say, 12 months, this next year, is because you've had companies over the year, Convoy being one of them, that went out and bought that power much cheaper than the market said to.
Correct.
Right. So they did that and they got the freight. They were able to lose a little bit of money, make a tiny bit of money maybe on that. But then, Dave, when the rates really begin to drop, they keep that same formula going. All of a sudden, they realize that nobody wants a load for 80 cents a mile. And even though the rates are extremely low at $1.50 on that spot market side, when you're paying out $1.20, $1.30, $1.40, and you bid it for 80, 90, or $1, whatever, your losses begin to take a toll. They saw that happen, and Dave, for brokers only, and the C.H. Robinsons of the world, they're all going to feel the little punch right now because they're not selling that asset. No. They're selling that ability to take your load as a shipper and put it out there on the open market for Drive Safe Dave Trucking to take that load.
That's correct.
But once Drive Safe Dave Trucking, continues to pay the high fuel prices and maybe gets put out of service a time or two, has to get that truck fixed, Drive Safe Dave is no longer there. Mm-mm. And now that same load that you took at $1 that you're counting on Drive Safe Dave, you call Drive Safe Dave up at the phone, you get beep, beep, beep. Dave, you're in trouble.
Everybody's in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, let's look at it for the big picture. This is tightening of the screws. I mean, we've got to really be honest with ourselves. This is going to be a huge tightening of the screws in capacity, right? I mean, there's going to be a leveling off at some point about capacity, right,
no
Rick?
Doubt.
I mean,
it is, and it seems weird, Dave, because you still see, and we've spoken about it, and I love the fact we talk about this all the time, but rates appear to be fairly high. The problem with the rates, even maybe historically high during this period of time, is that the cost, that fixed cost, the truck, the trailer, they haven't reduced. Their prices haven't gone down.
no.
So, Dave, that same $220 a mile that worked 4 years ago or 3 years ago, it doesn't work today because of things like fuel.
It's crushing.
Right?
It's crushing.
Fuel, because of things like trucks. Dave, are the prices the same today that they were 3 or 4 years ago for that same new truck?
No, yeah, they haven't really changed. I mean, you still pay the same amount of money that when we had this huge expansion, we had all this cash. We're still paying about the same amount of money. But I'm telling you, Sir Rick, it evolves into that business model that doesn't work today. It just doesn't work that you had 2 or 3 years ago. It doesn't work at all. And
pre-COVID, a truck was, the prices are about still 12 to 50% higher than they were pre-COVID. Yeah. Trailers continue to be in that 50 to 60% higher.
That's too much, and that doesn't even justify going out and purchasing them based upon the rates that are out there available today. That doesn't even justify. You can't even make justification on that.
Yeah, there is a right sizing in place going on right now. We're going to continue to see that, Dave. We have spoken in the weeks past about the amount of trucking failures we're seeing. That's not going anywhere, and when those trucking failures today, Dave. Let me tell you a big piece of where their costs are going to, and that's insurance. Because as a driver, as an owner-operator, whether you have one truck or whether you have 10 trucks or 50 trucks or 8,000 trucks or 10,000 trucks, let me tell you, what you do today in safety, you pay for that in the following 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That you don't have the luxury to say, I'm going to be safe starting tomorrow. Dave, that's a decision to stop at stop signs. That's a decision to do post trips that starts today with you out there on the road. And not just you, Dave. We owe it to them on that support side to make sure that we are as well setting them up to be successful, right?
Yeah, you're talking about if you're not out there running safe miles today, you won't be running very long. And you and I both know that. You're going to get out of services if your equipment's not taken care of, if your insurance is going to price yourself right out of the market. And right now we're at pennies. This is a penny business.
It is.
And if you're pricing yourself up for insurance and you're not being safe out there, you're basically number one, which is we don't ever appreciate. We want you to be safe no matter what you do. But the dollars and cents of it is you're going to price yourself right out of the ability to make money out here on the open road.
Yeah. We had an event here at BCB Live, Drive Safe, and I had an opportunity to talk to some smaller carriers. These folks were paying $16,000 to $18,000, and one was like $19,500 for the same insurance, right? That a larger company that has been around for a little bit longer is maybe paying $5,000.
Correct.
Dave, I mean, when you have one truck and you're giving up $15,000 on your rates, then on your insurance,
right?
Dave, I mean, where do you make that money up? I mean, there's not that much money in this business to be throwing away an extra 15 or 20,000. And Dave, for that, if he had 10 or 20 trucks, you take that times 20.
Yeah, and then you try to figure it on the rates that are out there today, out on the open market.
Makes you uncompetitive,
right?
Not competitive against those that have, say, cheaper insurance, those that have done it right the whole time.
Yeah, and then you have guys out there just running as much as they can until the last minute. I mean, and not taking care of what they need to take care of, and it puts us all in danger, and it makes us all look bad.
Yeah, and it's something that our industry, we as an industry, we watching this show right now, that we must do a better job of. And it doesn't mean you're doing a bad job right now, but Dave, we have room to improve every single day. There's a lot of time out there driving that truck, and I'm talking to the truck driver right now. That Dave, that their mind can fall off of the road that they're driving on right now for a second. That distraction that may have hit them. Dave, there's always ways for us to kind of hone back in on following distance, on speed, on passing, on just being irritated, being a safer driver out there on the road. There's things that we can always improve on, right?
Absolutely. And if you're not out there trying to improve your trade craft, you're not doing it right out there on the open road. You've got to understand that you can be better than you were yesterday, and you got to be better today, each and every day that you get out there. And that starts with the right mindset.
Yeah.
That starts with the right pre-trip. That starts with the right plan. And by the way, it all may go to crap in 15 minutes, but at least you've set yourself up for success. And if you don't do those things, you're going to have problems out there on the road.
Yeah, and do me a favor, if you're watching this from the dispatch office, from the recruiting office, or from an ownership side, you owe it to the same thing to set them up to be successful, to make sure that your people, that your safety culture, Dave, is starting from the top and working the way down. You can't say, I want you to be safe, and then preach something else.
That's correct.
It's not just the words, it's the action that you take. And you as an owner, you as a dispatcher, as a planner, just like the drivers, as a maintenance person, you absolutely have the opportunity to improve your craft every single day. Hey, take advantage of that today. Make yourself, make your company, make those that you hear in your office, talk to them about safety. Make safety part of your life, Dave, because it does save lives.
It absolutely does. And if you're focusing on it and you're doing it, then you're going to be better, set yourself up better for today out there on the open road. I'm telling you, you've got to focus on what you're doing out there, and you've got to help those that are out there focus on what they're doing.
Yeah, on behalf of the co-host, I'm your host, Sir Rick. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, God bless and stay safe out there.
Bye, everybody.